Hi Sumate, welcome to Vicky's Signature. If this is the first time you're seeing this channel, thanks for stopping by, and to my returning subscribers, thanks for sticking to this channel. So in this tutorial, we're looking at how to cut, how to draft, and how to sew this beautiful underbust gown or underbust corset gown with a back waistline. So if this is what you're interested in, let's get right into the video. So this is a hard net. This is our fabric. It is 3 yards. This is our pattern paper, this is our ruler, and then let's get right into the drafting. So I joined my pattern paper. I don't want to waste it, so that was why I joined it. So for us to start, we'll be ruling 1 inch margin on the both side so that it can serve as our starting line or as our starting point. So that is what I am just doing so that we can go ahead and start drafting. So guys, after ruling the margin of 1 inch on both sides, this is what we have. So now we can start our drafting properly, but before then we have to demarcate it so that we can have the back and then the front. So what I did was I divided my bust by 4 inches and then I added 1 inch. So my bust is 36. When I divided it by 4, I have 9, then plus 1, it is 10 inches. So I am using 10 inches for the demarcation. That is to say, I measure 10 inches here, 10 inches here, making the total of 20 inches and then dividing it by 2 so that we can have 2 space. So here is now our front and the other part is going to be our back. So if your bust is same as mine, you can go ahead and use this. So now first thing, now we are going to be putting our shoulder measurement. So my shoulder is 15. When I divided it by 2, I have 7.5. then I'll come down a bit and then put that same measurement in order for us to align it together. Yes, so it is that same 7.5 that I marked here. So I'll just go ahead to rule the line straight to the 7.5 I just marked. So from here now we'll be marking our basic vertical measurement. So for my shoulder to chest line is 8.5, shoulder to bust point 10, shoulder to your under bust, make sure you listen to this under bust, it is 13.5, shoulder to waistline it is 16 inches. So anything I have on this part, I'll definitely mark it on this other end, then I'll connect it together. So the chest line I said is 8.5. That is because I already know my chest line, and if you don't know how to do it, just go ahead and check my basic bodies calculation, basic bodies tutorial. You know how to calculate that. Just your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, then you get your chest line. So that is basically what I did. So that is the first line is my chest line, my bust point, the under bust, and then the waistline. So let's continue with the shoulder. We'll put that shoulder measurement on that chest line properly now so that we can align the line together so that it matches properly. You get what I'm trying to say? So now next thing is for us to do our armhole. First thing now, we'll come down by 1 inches for our shoulder slope. Then anything we have there, we are just going to divide it by 2 using this simple division of folding your tape. Then we'll go in a little bit with 0.75. You get? So after going in, we'll connect that 0.75 to our 1 inch mark upward. Then on the chest line, we'll be putting our bust measurement. I told you my bust is 9 inches, which is 36 divided by 4. Then I'll use our little curve to just form the armhole curve like this. This is not a new thing to some of us again. I believe you understand. So next thing, we'll just put our basic neckline, which is 3 by 3 inches. Yeah, this is 3 by 3, and then after doing that, we'll just use a small curve to just form a small do our small neckline. Then from there, we'll rule our straight line to connect the shoulder slope down to the neckline. So that is our shoulder slope. Just connect it. Now next thing, now this is our chest line, sorry, this is our bust point, the under bust, then the waistline. So let's take it from here now. So on the waistline, we are going to be putting our waist measurement of 28 inches divided by 4, which is 7 inches. Then I added 1 inches for our dart intake. So from that part, I'll connect it to meet the chest line. So this is just a basic bodies. So from there now, from the bust point, the difference between the front and the back waistline that I have is 2 inches. That is to say my front is 16 and my back is 14. So that 2 inches difference, I'll put it from my bust point to mark it as my bust dart. So from there I'll go ahead to put the waist dart using 4 inches. That is my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So that is what I'm just doing. I'm doing my dart leg. That is what I'm doing right now. So I've properly taken the waist dart, and then this is the bust that we use 2 inches for. I believe you understand down to this point. So now on the neckline, we are not going to be using this neckline, so we are going to put the neckline one starting from our 3x3. So me, I measured mine and I want it very deep, so I use 5.5. So I discovered the 5.5 is around that my chest line. So I said, oh, let me just stick to my chest line, and my whole chest line is what, 8.5 from the upper part. Then the neck width is 3 inches that we used before, but now I have extended it to 3.5. So I'll just connect the line straight first, so that we'll see the effect of the straight line, and then after connecting it straight, we can just connect it curvily, then we'll see the one we can stick with. So why I'm doing these two methods is I am taking tutorials and I'm same time teaching my students, so I have to do these two methods so that them too can also see it, and even you that is watching it can also learn it properly. I believe you understand. So now next thing is for us to what, focus on our underbust now, which is the main reason why we are doing this tutorial. You get? So you see the way I place the tape. So we are just going to rule the line there so that we see. You see, this one of my students, I'm sorry about that. So when we rule the line, did you see the difference that it is not properly caged? You see, it is not properly caged. So we are just going to be ruling it from there under bust like that. Then we just curve it in to that our neckline that we drew. That is what I am just trying to say. So I am doing these two methods so that when you are doing yours, you not slash it like, because when you slash it like that, you are probably slashing around your bust point, and then the clothes will not sit properly at your under bust. Can you see? That is what I'm just trying to see. So now I'll not use the first line we drew. I'll just use my free hand to just curve it into the what, under bust, so that it can cage the bust properly. So if you want your own to like enter under your under bust very well, I told you my under bust is 13.5, so you can even go ahead and add 1 inch so that it enters very well, but I want it like this. So from the waistline, I came down by 4 inches for our back line. So I'll just connect that 4 inches to meet the waistline straight like this. We all connect it straight first so that we can see the effect. So after connecting it straight, we decided to do it curvily, just as we have been doing since. So look at it properly and see what I'm trying to do. So you see that the straight line is down, and the straight line is the upper one, and then the curved one is what we'll be sticking with. So we'll just go ahead to do the back. I think this is all for the front. We'll go ahead to do the back. The back, there is nothing there. The only thing is for us to put our measurement properly. So what I'm trying to mark is my shoulder to waistline for the back. The waistline for the back, it is 14 inches, while for the front it is 16 inches, because the front has breast and then the back doesn't have breast. So that is why you see that the back waistline is shorter than the front waistline. So from there, I'll just go down by that 4 inches mark for our back's effect. You see what I'm trying to do, right? Then from there, I'll put my waist measurement. So all these things that I'm doing at the back is just exactly what I did at the front, just that there's not going to be a much dart for the back. And then at the waistline for the back, I went in by ½ inch, just as you can see. It is from that 1 inch that I'll put I went in by ½ inch. It is from that ½ inch now that I'll put our zipper allowance. So why we are going in by that ½ inch is for the back to relax properly, so that there will be no zipper bulge. I believe when you saw the dress that I put on, there was no zipper budge, so that is why we are doing that. So on the upper part, we just go ahead to start putting our basic bodice measurements, which is our shoulder divided by 2, we have 7.5. I told you my shoulder is 15. When you divide it by 2, you have 7.5, like that. Then the neckline for the back, the width is just going to be the 3.5, just as the front. Then the depth is 2 inches. So now on the waistline, we'll put our waist measurement and then connect to the bust. So after that, we'll put our dart intake. We are using 4 inches, which is our bust span, or nipple to nipple divided by 2. So after that, we just go ahead to do the dart leg. So the back is just going to have the basic and waist dart. There's nothing like bust dart there because there is no breast at the back. So from there, we'll connect this thing. We are just going to connect it to the back waistline. Then after that, we'll go ahead to cut. So I'm just trying to curve it properly for the front. So after that, we just go ahead to start cutting. You see the way I slash through the waist dart back so that we can be able to cover our bust dart. I believe you understand. Now to the back, I'm just trying to extend the line because I made use of 1.5 inches for the neckline before, so I extended it to 2 inches so that it will come down a little bit. So this is how you are going to be covering your bust dart. You slash through the waist dart and then you use your sellotape to tape it down. Then you can cut it out properly. Can you see the bust dart is showing? It's not showing again. We have hidden it, right? So after closing, do you see that the shape of the breast is already coming out? And then this is the back. So that is all for the cutting. I believe you understand. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section, because this is just our basic bodies we did. The only thing now, it is the alteration at the underbust, and then there is alteration at the underbust, and then our back's waist. So I've gone ahead to cut it out, and I've also cut lining for each of the piece. So I use 1/2 inch all round, except for the side that I use 2 inches. You get? So if you measure everything, you are going to be seeing half inch, except the side I use 2 inches. Likewise to the back. So we are going to start with the front properly, but before then, let's notch our dart so that when we are joining it together, it will not be difficult for us. So please, when you are doing yours, do it like this so that it will be very, very easy for you to join. So after notching the dart, I'm just measuring the length of the dart. You know, this dart is just strictly from the underbust, so it is not going to be that long, like we are connecting the whole waist dart together. So I measure it. I think I have 4 inches, so that when I want to join it, I know where and where to stop. So let's separate the front from let's separate the front piece together. Can you see? This is what we have. I think the shape of the shape of our dress is almost coming out. So after that, after placing it like this, we are just going to match it with the appropriate lining like so, and then we'll go to the sewing machine and start joining properly. So first thing, we'll sew down like this, top stitch and turn, then we'll match it. We'll sew down, top stitch and turn, then we'll match it. So once I'm done with this, I'll bring it. So guys, after sewing it, top stitching, and then this is what we have. Can you see it's looking so fine already? And then look at our dart. Because we notch it now, it will be very, very easy for us to pick it up. So look at the way I'm picking it, right? To go to the sewing machine and then you sew it like that, just as I'm showing you like this. So we'll go to the sewing machine and then pick our dart properly, so that when I'm done, I'll bring it, then we can continue from there. So when we measured it, I told you our dart intake was around 4 inches, right? That is the length. So guys, now let's see what we have here. So for the down part of the upper part, that is the front, but I've gone ahead to just turn it also with the lining. You see, but I've gone ahead to just turn it with the lining. Sorry, I forgot to show that on the camera, but there is nothing hard about it. So after taking our dart, do you see what we have? So I'll place it like this. Can you see? This is just like a corset. I'll place it like this, and then I'll sew it curvely down to the end. Then the second one, I'll place it from the chest line also. Then I'll sew it curvely down to the end with 1/2 inch. So guys, after joining it, this is what we have. It's looking so clean already, right? Yeah. So next thing we'll be doing is we are just going to be working with the back. There is nothing much there to do. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove our pattern firstly. So after removing our pattern, then I also cut a lining for the back. So I'm making use of a black lining. So sorry guys, this is my clothes, so I know what to do. So just go ahead to turn it and then I'll bring it. Who discovered that it's already late in the night? So I'm using my ring light, but I don't know why it's not really shiny, but I believe you can see it. So if you can watch down to this point, the tutorial will not be difficult for you again. So now look at the back. I've gone ahead to join it also, like turn it with lining, and then I'll take the dart properly. So next thing is for us to start joining our shoulders. And if you discover very well, I've gone ahead to iron it properly. I've ironed the dress properly. So under our chest line, look at that little half-inch space that is there. That is where our rope is going to be. So I have made this little rope. I'll just place it there and then stitch it. There's no big deal there. So once I'm done, I'll bring it. So guys, after joining the shoulders, this is what we have. And then for our rope, I'm gonna ahead to stitch it together properly. So next thing we'll be doing is we are just going to be working with the sleeve. You get, you're just going to be working with the sleeve. So when you look at the tutorial, look at the dress that I put on, the sleeve is a puffy kind of sleeve, I be with elastic. So this is how I cut the sleeve. It is just your basic sleeve, but then let's say instead of cutting 10 inches, you cut like 15 or more than the 10 inches. You get, so I increased the measurement so that we can now pleat on our shoulder part, and then the remaining this thing that is left, we can just put elastic to it so that it can form the puffy effect. So I believe this is not new to some of us again. So we'll go ahead to join it like this, and then join it using gather so that I'll bring it. So guys, after joining it with gathers, this is what we have. You know, it is not the part that have gathers, it is just that shoulder part that has the gathers. So this is what we have. Then next thing that we are going to do is for us to join the side of the dress down. You are just going to join it down. So starting from the sleeve down to the waist. So for you to join it, you are just going to put your measurement. So me, I use 1.5. Yes, so you just go and join it with the 1.5. Oh my god. After joining it, guys, this is what we have. And then next thing now is for us to fix our gather. So let's go ahead and measure all what we have there. So it is now that we are going to cut our gather. So I measured it. I think at the end of the measurements, we got 40 inches. So this is 40. So you're going to be timing that 40 by 3 so that your gather is going to be very full. So when I times the 40 by 3, this is what I have. I have 120 inches. Yes, so I'll go ahead to run the gather stitch, split it together like this, then I'll bring it. So guys, after running the gather stitch, this is what I have. So I said, okay, let me add hard net to it. You get, so that it will be more fuller. So I went ahead to just run small gather stitch like this on the hard net also. So we'll just go ahead to sew it on it. For this gather stitch on the hard net, I didn't measure it out. I was just doing it so that the effects will come out. So once I was done joining it together with it, this is what I have. Do you see? This is what I have. So now next thing for us to do is we are just going to bring the upper part together, then we can start our joining properly. I believe you understand what I'm trying to do here. So we are just going to bring the gathers now and then place it in a way in which we can sew it properly. So go to the sewing machine and start sewing from one end to the another end. So some people join their own from middle to the end, but then why I didn't do like that was because we already measured it properly. So guys, after doing that, this is what I have, and I don't like the effect that the hard net is giving to me. Like, the thing is so full, so I went ahead to do justice by what, removing it. Yes, who discovered that it's daybreak already? Yes, it's daybreak. So this is the following day. I've gone ahead to what, remove the whole hard net. Can you see that the hard net that I saw is still showing very well, but I make sure that I trim it off very well. I trim it with all my strength so that it will not show, because the thing was just very full and I don't like it that way. So that was why I removed the hard net. So next thing now is, let's go ahead to continue with our sleeve. I've gone ahead to what, so firstly we'll go ahead to join our our back, like fix the zip first. So this is the zip that I am using. I actually told one of my colleagues to buy it for me, so instead of buying the longer zip, she bought this, but I have no choice than to use it. So after doing the sleeve, like putting the elastic and then putting the zip, this is what I have. Can you see? It's looking so fine already, but then I discovered that the length was too long and I don't want that curved length at the down part. So I went ahead to stand like a mannequin. Then I told one of my students to help me and trim off the Essex so that it will be short, just like the way I want it. So guys, after trimming off the Essex, can you see, this is what we have. Our gown is almost ready. It's 99.9 ready. The sleeve is fixed properly using our elastic, and then this is the down part of the dress. So next thing we are going to do is for us to what, using like 1 inch, and then that is all for this tutorial. This is a final look and this is the first testing. Can you see? It's so fine, right? Or yeah, rate me 1 to 10. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I'll attend to you. And see you in my next tutorial. Bye.